What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to give you guys an urgent market update as Bitcoin has recently gotten a move to the upside. And I want to talk about if we're going to get this continued move up or if this resistance that we're hitting right now is going to be kind of where the pump teeters out and rolls back to the downside. Are we coming higher? Are we going lower? I'm going to cover it all in this quick market update, as well as the targets to the upside if this pump continues and the targets to the downside if it winds up rolling back over. And then obviously, I'll give you guys kind of what I'm expecting to happen. And if you watch the live streams, this move actually wouldn't have been too much of a surprise to you. So hopefully those of you who tune into the 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live stream were able to catch this move like we did with me and the Mafia in the premium Discord. I am in a long position right now, so I will go ahead and show that as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the charts and try to figure out what this thing Bitcoin is going to do next. Let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin, and I want to cover two main things in this video. I want to go ahead and cover more of the macro or medium-term price action, and then I want to cover a little bit more of this local price action that we're getting down here. Now, first, I'm going to start a little bit zoomed out here, and it all starts with the volume profiles, guys, and shout out to the volume profiles. These things absolutely slap, and they barely miss. Although not 100% of the time are they right. I have to be very clear about that. Obviously, they're not right 100% of the time, but obviously they do have a pretty high hit rate, and this is why they're such a big part of my analysis. So we've been looking at two major value areas, right? We've been looking at this more macro value area, basically with your lows at about 25.7, and your highs are all the way up here closer to about 29.4. And this is kind of our main value area, and if you don't know what this is, it's simply a fair price for Bitcoin. When you're inside of your value area, aka simply just within your range, right? When you hear me say value area, I'm simply just referring to the range. And as you remain inside of this range, this is considered a fair price for Bitcoin. Anytime you deviate above these levels, and let me actually go ahead and hide these purple boxes just to give you guys a little bit of a clearer look at the levels that we're actually taking a look at here. When you are above this value area high, you could think of this as kind of overbought, right? Over here, you would think you were overbought. This is where you want to look for shorts, anticipating that you will get sucked back into the value area, and more specifically towards the POC and eventually the value area low. Now, again, if you watch the channel, this is not a shocker to you, and this is how we were able to predict this move to the downside, this move to the upside, and this move to the downside as well. So this is a very, very powerful tool, one of the most powerful tools I've ever found in my trading career. And here we are. We came down with this big move to the value area low. This is where we decided we were not going to get super bearish. You don't want to get bearish at support as you approach these value area lows. This is kind of where you want to start looking for longs, especially when you start deviating below the value area low, simply because you would consider this oversold, right? This is a little bit undervalued of a price for Bitcoin. I'm expecting it to get sucked back inside of the value area and then potentially get a ride back up to your POC or even up to your value area high. So this has kind of been my sentiment for the past couple of weeks for Bitcoin ever since almost 30 days as we've been sitting down here tapping on this key level of support. And instead of getting super bearish and looking to get into these massive short positions at support, we knew it was going to be likely that we were going to get a bounce from this level. And if you guys, remember, we were actually comparing this price action to this price action back here from June. And it looks very similar, right? You come down to the value area low, you start losing the level, everybody starts panicking, you get a little bit of a move down, everyone's calling for lower lows, and then what happens? You just get absolutely sucked back into the value area and you shoot right up to the high of the range. And it's these pumps that catch people super off guard. They're like, what happened? I thought we were super bearish. But when you look at the volume profiles, it's very, very clear where you should be looking for these bounces. And it's typically when everybody else is super bearish and looking for shorts. This is our edge in the market, guys. You need an edge in this market to make money. And this is simply the edge. Let's move on here. I want to talk about kind of where we are. That's kind of how we got here, right? We were expecting a bounce also based off of very specific things, such as the 4-hour bullish divergences that we're confirming. We also have our super bullish signal. This is kind of the main thing, was our bullish divergence here on the daily time frame with our lower lows on price as we deviate below our value area low, which is key, letting us know that not only is price undervalued below this level here, but also we were getting our higher lows on our momentum waves, giving us that pinch point or bullish divergence, letting us know, hey, not only is Bitcoin undervalued, but it's also showing a sign of a bullish reversal. Might be time to start looking for some long positions, which I actually am in right now, which I will go ahead and show you guys real quick. I am currently in 2 positions. One of them is right here. This is the long position, up about 108%. Already took profit off the table. I will be moving my stop loss to break even in very, very soon here, making it a guaranteed winning trade. And then this short that I am in on Maker, I've been in this trade for quite some time. Well into profit, a bunch of profit taken. So both trades in the green, but really I wanted to focus on this one because this trade is the actual long position that I'm in right now. And you can see my entry is right here. It's coming in at about $25,246. So you can see that we were indeed looking for those long positions as we were deviated below that value area low. We don't just talk about this, we actually do it. As you deviate, you are undervalued below that value area low. This is where I was looking for my entry. I found all my confirmations along with the premium Discord. We got all those confirmations, got into the trade, and again, you know, that entry was somewhere down here. And at that point, we are expecting to get sucked back into the value area, flip the value area low to support, and eventually, guys, talking about some higher targets, we could potentially, because as you guys know, I know if Creighton C is watching this video right now, he knows the answer to this question. When you get above the value area low and you flip it to support, where is the next likely place for Bitcoin to go? Simply put, it's going to be the POC of that range, which is coming in at about $28,000. And if we can get above that POC, I will be looking up towards that value area high, getting closer to about 29.4. Now, this is basically just based off of the laws of the volume profile. That's how these typically behave. But we also have some other reasons why visiting these levels may not only be likely, but also might be very interesting to come up, tap some of those levels before rolling back over and coming to the downside. So that's kind of the zoomed out macro analysis. Let me bring up some of these other levels that I hid. And you can see right here, kind of my basic plan remains the same with money flow also still coming out on these higher daily time frames. You can see this. I know we're getting a crossover into the green on the 5-day right now, but generally money flow is coming out. Taking a look at the 4-day, money flow crossed over into the red. That is a fresh money flow crossover. So because of these things, guys, also your 3-day pretty deep in the money flow coming straight out there. Because of this, my sentiment still remains the same as it has been basically for the past couple of months, or basically since we've been down here for the past month. Really looking for any of these pumps to the upside to basically just come in, put a lower high in, and then break down to lower prices. We are still in Rectember. We do have money flow coming out on those higher daily time frames, which would indicate that the trend will likely continue down. So on any of these pumps, although we are bullish in the short term, looking for a move to the upside, we are simply looking for these moves up, test some higher prices to put in a lower high and continue our downtrend to lower prices. And I'm not going to talk about the lower prices in today's video, because this is a bullish market update. But guys, the levels remain the same as from the live stream. We came down to the value area low. We found our confirmations. We took the long. Now we're looking for a move up to the 28K POC. If we get past there, I am simply looking up to the golden pocket 786 retracement of this entire move to the downside to put in that lower high. This market structure-wise would make the most sense to come in here and put the lower high somewhere up in here between these two purple boxes to then put in lower lows. Now I want to go ahead and jump into the local price action because, guys, there is no guarantee that we will make it all the way up here. So where are some other levels locally that we could reverse from that might make sense? So zooming into more of our local price action here, guys, I will come down to a lower time frame. Let's go to the 4-hour. And as you can see here, we have more of a local volume profile here, and you can see we are starting to approach our purple box, which is our first key level of resistance. And this is, in my opinion, if we are not going to get a rip up to 28K and beyond to put in a macro lower high, there is a possibility that we could get some kind of a rejection at this level right here. Now, this level is coming in between $26,768 and $27,445, and we have a golden pocket 786 retracement level within this purple box, as well as our value area high, our local value area high, not the macro one that we were just looking at. That is all the way out here. We are now zoomed into this local price action, but you can see here we are approaching resistance, and you're not going to see this when you're zoomed out looking at the macro value area, right? But you guys can see that we are hitting that key level of resistance, and this could wind up cooling us off a little bit because, again, just due to the laws of the volume profile, you would, if you were trading this local profile, you'd be looking to long from down here and then ride this up to the value area high where you would expect resistance. Now, even if we do get rejected here, guys, we could potentially just get a little bit of a retracement, and if you pull some local golden pockets, if we do come down from here and we don't just randomly break up, we could wind up coming down and testing our local golden pocket 786 retracement levels to put in a higher low and then continue up to attack some higher prices. So locally, I would be careful of a pullback here, guys, just because our 4-hour VWAP is starting to curve down here. This would indicate a cool off is coming. We are also have tapped key resistance almost to the dollar here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we cool off a little bit from here, but again, our 4-hour money flow is just crossed over into the green, and locally, just the fact that we have the confirmed bull div on the daily, as well as the 2-day bullish divergence now being confirmed, and we looked at this on yesterday's live stream premiere, the 2-day bullish divergence could easily give us some more upside here, guys. These are some pretty bullish signals. However, we understand that money flow coming out on the higher time frames is likely to make this bullish move, even if it's a shocking bullish move up to this golden pocket or value area high closer to the 29,000s. We know that it's likely that it's just going to be a lackluster move before rolling back to the downside. But locally, a lot of these signals we're getting on some of the higher time frames would indicate short-term bullish price action. And in my opinion, if we can get past this purple box, we could attack this POC and potentially these higher prices up here. But until then, I am looking for a potential short-term cool-off or maybe just some consolidation as we hit this key level of resistance, which is our local volume profile. So, guys, I think that's all the time I got for today's market update. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of what's going on the charts as we have this pump incoming, or I woke up and saw this pump, and I kind of just wanted to fill you guys in on the key levels I'm looking at. So we are hitting that local resistance, but remember, when you zoom out to that macro profile, we might just be on our way to that $28,000 POC. And with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time I got for today's market update. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, and also don't forget to turn on notification bells so you don't miss any of these urgent market updates. And with all that being said, that's all I got for this one. See you guys in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand.